Hiya folks, my name is Max and I like to make not so tiny nerdy things. Now if you've ever wondered what Monster Hunter armor would look like in real life, I have two. A weird amount actually, honestly. I've designed my own a few times, but that's not the point of today's video. Right now, I'm making armor. You can see it there, see? The little scraps of paper on the table that are being cut out really fast? That's armor. Not yet, but it will be. I needed that template for all of this. Otherwise, I wouldn't have anything to do. I have no idea how to make things from scratch, so this template online from Etsy from a store called Raw Props really helped with every step along the way. I'd seriously suggest you check them out, if their page wasn't gone. For some reason it just disappeared halfway through making this project. But by now I'm sure you're wondering, Max, what actually is any of this? What's going on? Well, lucky for you, my dear viewer, I have an explanation. I'm making Rathalos armor from Monster Hunter, the Gen 3 armor at least. I'm making a helmet, a chest plate, gloves, waist coil, and boots. The only part I wasn't really able to create in time was a helmet, but I made it earlier, so that's fine. What I needed to use was an apron to guard myself from any spills or any harmful chemicals that might have gotten onto me. A pair of gloves to keep myself from those same harmful spills and chemicals. Contact cement to glue all of the foam together. Some goggles to keep my eyes safe. A knife to cut through the foam cleanly and efficiently. A filter mask to, well, filter the harmful chemicals, and nothing else really. But you might be wondering, Max, what are you doing? What is this? What is any of this made out of? Well, it won't be made from any tails, wing membranes, carapaces, or scales. Instead, I'll be making all of this armor out of EVA foam. Well, EVA foam and foam clay. You can't exactly get all of the detail from big sheets. Now, speaking of big sheets, I had to transfer every single piece of that old template onto the foam 2 times over, because the template only really counts one half of the body, the left half, so I had to turn over each piece and trace it all over again, including the fault lines to make it just a little bit easier for myself later on in the project. I didn't really have much of an idea how much armor there would be here, but it's definitely a lot. Probably close to 1,000 pieces, I'd guess. Eventually though, after several days and I think 2 whole square meters of foam, it was all traced out. All of it! All of it! Including the helmet, which I still didn't really have time to make. But that was traced out! It's there! It's in my room in the corner! Staring at me. Menacingly. It won't hurt me, it's not made of Fatalis scales. I think. But now, finally, it was time to actually do the thing. Cut the foam out from the template and transfer it onto... No more transferring. The template is done. Finally! My hands hurted a little bit from actually tracing all of this, but now that it's out of the way, I can use my hands again to still hurt and still do more work. I had to cut out all of the pieces that I had just drawn, which took a long time, again, but it was done, eventually, in the end. All of it had to be cut out, which didn't really do the best for how my room looked. I had piles of foam on my bed and desks for ages, you wouldn't believe it. But eventually, once all of it had been cut out, I could get to the next part, which was a little bit scary, if I'm being honest. And here it is, the scary bit that I mentioned earlier. You ever used contact cement? I haven't. Not before this project. Turns out you have to have a very, very well ventilated room. I had to have a fan on and have my window wide open and wear a big, big mask that was very awkward to breathe in. It was very awkward to breathe in. Not hard to breathe in by any means, but it made me sound like Darth Vader. Every single breath. But eventually, I did get everything glued together, and sort of ended up abandoning the contact cement. It's an amazing adhesive, but with how long it took to dry and how little time I had left, it wasn't going to be possible. Not in the slightest. And because of how little time I had left, I ended up procrastinating and not streaming or making any time lapses, and also just running out of footage. So, with that run out footage, here's a Rathalos. Is that 12? Does that look good? Okay, so I have, wait. Okay, this is day 1 of the vlog. I have 2 days and tomorrow and Friday, to finish this project. I'm not entirely sure how much I can get done, but I'm hoping that I can at least finish the armor, at least. And paint it tomorrow. I won't be able to get the helmet done. I know I'm not going to be able to get the helmet done, but I'm hoping I can get everything else done, right? At least, I hope, you know? This is the final day that I have to work on this. Today is Thursday the 7th. The photo shoot is tomorrow, Friday the 8th. I do not think I'll have time. I'm hoping that I will because almost everything is already primed, but I do not think I'll have time to finish all of it. Hope's all we do though, you know? Okay. And now, finally, after 2 whole months, no, 3 whole months of straight work, well, almost straight work, I slacked off a lot during all of this, I can do it. I can wear the armor that I've made. It doesn't look the best. I ran out of time a lot at the end, okay? I ran out of hot glue, I needed that hot glue to put the straps on, and so everything kept falling apart during filming, but here it is! Me wearing it! Look at me doing all of these cool poses and miming a sword! Doesn't it look so cool? Alright, sarcasm aside, I am genuinely very proud of this. It took me a while and doesn't look the best now that I'm all wearing... It took me a while and doesn't look the best now that I'm wearing all of it on camera because it keeps falling apart, but I feel like if it were really truly finished, I could have something great. The scales all actually have texture, the metal is shiny. The metal is shiny? You know how long that took me to figure out how to get the metal to be shiny? Admittedly not very long. I had to put a primer on, then some paint, then a different kind of paint, and then I had to use the silver in a very specific way with a very specific brush, but it worked in the end. It's metal now. It looks like metal. Every piece of the armor looks real. The scales have texture, I mentioned that already. The scales have texture, the metal is metallic, really metallic. It's all put together on me properly. The arms actually look decent, even if the legs are slightly off. Everything else looks amazing, and honestly, I couldn't be prouder of it. I couldn't be prouder of it. Even if it's not finished or not perfect, I'm not the best smithy this side of Dundorma, I feel like I'm at least an okay smithy. Thank you to everyone watching this, and a special thank you especially to BackseatStreams, Lyuze, and everyone who did the forms for my college work. Yes, you. You helped this. Thank you. I might pass. Thank you.